Thank you for telling me that. Do y'all hear that gal say that? I don't know why all of a sudden she doing that. I don't understand. Thank you for letting us know that it's being recorded, old gal. Hey, everybody. We got Ken. There's my guy, Rick. Rick, I just love seeing you when you're here. Jim's with us. Dwayne is with us. And we got to look at a gold trade, don't we? So we're going to have a great discussion today. Really, really good discussion. I'm looking forward to it. I have not forgot the gold trade that we will be looking at today. But let's do our stuff first. Let's record our stuff and get here going. Hope everybody's having a good day. I went to the eye doctor this morning, and I'm always embarrassed to go to the eye doctor because it's been a few years. And when you're diabetic, so to speak, you can have all these problems. Fortunately, I didn't have any problems today with my eyes. But here's where it gets embarrassing, and my wife gets so embarrassed is where they go, okay, let's take you out and pick out your glasses. And I go, nope, I'm going to order mine from a Chinese child labor camp, Zeni Optical. And, then they're like, then they start, guilting you into buying your glasses from the eye doctor and blah, 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 blah. So I just don't want to be gifted into it. Look, I don't want to be like my mama. My mama, they can con her into buying Jordache or Gucci glasses. My mama pays, $500 or $600 for glasses. I'm like, Mama, why are you doing that? She's like, well, this is the ones they said be good for me. I'm like, Mama, they are selling you some high priced glasses. Whereas I'll go to Zeni Optical and it's just an economic decision, y'all. I can get two pair of glasses for $25. Well, Bobby, they're not, they fall apart, don't they? Well, of course they do. What's this? But I've had these things for 5 or 6 years. Look, I'm pulling out the dang lens on it. Yeah, my lens comes out. When you got 5 kids, they hit you and kick you, in the face and everything. And yeah, they come out. But it's $25, y'all. And I've been having these for years. So I'm going to get me a new pair of glasses for our vacation. I'm actually going to order from the Chinese slave labor camp. I'm going to order a pair of sunglasses too. And I'm just joking. I don't know that Zeni Optical is Chinese or whatever. I'm just, that's the way they make you feel at the eye doctor. But this eye doctor that I went to today was great, y'all. Listen, he's like, you don't have any leakage or bleeding in your eyes. That's great. He said, your blood sugars must be under control. And then they said this, you ready? They said, do you want to just me to give you your prescription or do you want to get glasses here? Asked me. And I said, yeah, just give me my prescription. So now I'm ready to get my $24 from Zeni Optical. I'm so excited. All right, let's go to our monitor tab. All right, what is my net lit today? If this thing will pick up my face, I like the thumb thing better. So we are at 51, 51, 51, 300.58. So from yesterday, we are up $167. That ought to be able to play some Jefferson. Turns of that.
Well, we're moving on now. We're moving on up to the east side. To a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Yeah, I hate when people guilt you into stuff like, well, I won't be able to send my kids to school if you don't buy $500 glasses. And then listen, your kid's going to stay at home. Huh? How about that? Oh, man. So they were great today. I'm really excited. So let's get our things here. Delta, look at this, y'all. I had an epiphany. How you say epiphany yesterday? I did some weird stuff yesterday. We're going to talk about it. So my delta is negative 307. We're going to talk about it because I was moving and shaking yesterday. All right. So theta is 156 because we're going to really, really, really have a come to Jesus meeting today. What's my Vega? Vega is 150.68. Mm-hmm. Bob, if you don't get your glasses here, we won't be able to be in business. Hey, I got you. But look, I only come like every 4 years. And they've already got me an appointment made on May the 30th of 2022. And that's a Monday. And I'm thinking, Memorial Day. I ain't going on Memorial Day. All right, what am I doing now? Buying power. 14,531. I took my buying power down yesterday. 14,531. So the buying power usage there is 28%. We're fine on theta. What does my delta say? I'm way too short, right? So it says Bob's. Oh, Bob's, you need positive deltas. Okay, so we'll look at that. And I'll tell you what all I did yesterday. But first, let's look at the gold trade. Now, I thought I had gold in this Tastyworks portfolio too. Do I not? I thought I had it. Let's see. So there it is. GC. Now, why? Let's see. What all options do I have if I right click? Right click. Roll strike. Analysis. Here we go. So this little puppy looks pretty doggone good, right? Let's see. How do you get in and out? Let's see. Zoom in. Yeah. So is it, yes, coming up on this? Yeah, a little bit. Let's see. Does it give us our Greeks for this particular trade? Let me see. I'm more comfortable in this. So let's analyze my gold trades. Hit the Analyze tab. Let's see what it looks like. And I think, was it Jim that talked about this yesterday, the gold trade, or was it Dwayne? I can't remember. One of y'all had this one on. I think it was Jim. All right, let's see. Gold trade. Show all. Single symbol. Let's hide any simulations we got. Here we go. There's our little trade. Looking pretty good. Let's see if we can squinch it in there. Squinch is a word, I'm sure, somewhere. Squinch. So let's find out where current price is on this. And yeah. So, I mean, is it equal? I mean, this is current price, right? 1892. Yep, 1892.50. So you see, expiration, you're going to be making $900. But right now, the P&L on the open, if you look at the purple, is we're down $605. So yeah, it's painful, right? And would it be painful if we went over here and we're down $5,249, even though the trade's still safe? Oh yeah. So what could you do? Well, what you need to do is look at your delta. So this is bringing you in negative 11 delta, right? So what you could do is, I don't think I'm going to do it, but to increase that delta, you could roll that put up a little bit so you can neutralize delta. So let's just look at the trade tab and see where it's at. I don't think there's anything for me to do today in it, but we'll look at it. And thanks for bringing it to my attention, because certainly we need to keep an eye on it. We don't want it to get too far out of the way, but you know, my first management would be to roll. We still got 125 days on that trade. Change this back to single. Sleeping single in a double bed. I mean, when Barbara Mandrell retired, she just quit, y'all. You won't find that gal singing nowhere. So see, you're short. I say you're short. Where's it at? There it is. Unbelievable. So what started out as a 5 delta is, you know, at a 2.94 delta. So what could you do? You could roll it in, right? You could roll it in, maybe back to a 5 delta. Be rolling it up several strikes here. You know, roll it up here. Back to a 5% delta. And what that would do is allow you to collect a little more premium on it, right? And to kind of get it a little more centered. And that would neutralize those deltas somewhat, right? I mean, I guess we could evaluate it. So I don't know if we need to today, but that's the first thing. But I think it's been going in the right direction the last couple of days. Let's see, what's it doing today? Go. Yeah. So I'm down 590 on it. It's flat today. You know, it's up $10 today. Close it. It's down 580. I think that trade's still okay. All right. So anything else we need to look on that? But that's how you do it. That's how you see it now. It's got negative delta. So what do? You neutralize the deltas, right? So now SPY weighted deltas, that's -4. That's -11 in GC delta. So what do? Just roll it up. Roll it up. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the harsh reality of what's going on here in this account. Because I have this reality, and I'm trying not to go. You remember one of our devils we fight envy. So I got this other account here. It's not even my account, right? I'm trading it for someone else. And I looked at it yesterday and I said, okay, how's it doing? How's this one doing? So as of yesterday, the S&P 500 from March the 9th or March 29th till yesterday, this account that is represented by the orange line is entirely the S&P 500 account. Let's see. Mike isn't working. What about the large Vega on GC? Yeah, large Vega on GC is large Vega, and that's why I've neutralized it with those other trades, right? So that I have positive Vega. But yes, you're exactly right. It does have large negative Vega. So if that's the only trade that you've got in the, in the portfolio, then I would offset that with some calendar trades. The VIX hedge should do that. What else? Calendars, the diagonals on IWM, diamonds, SPY, XSP, some of those trades can neutralize it. But those are SPX Vegas, not GC Vegas. Correct. But now I'm not an expert on Vega at all, right? We beta weight delta so we can compare apples to apples. There is no way for us to beta weight theta. Theta is theta, and there's no way for us to beta weight Vega. I mean, Vega just is Vega. So yeah, is it gold Vega? Is that different than Vega in SPY or SPX? I don't really know how to answer that. All I know is I take Vega as a number. I just take it on the face value of what it is. I take theta on face value of what it is. Delta is the only creature that we have to beta weight. So there's no way for me to beta weight Vega that I'm aware of. So I just neutralize it at the portfolio level, not at the individual trade level. I hope that makes sense. So I've never looked at gold Vega different than, just the Vega in the account. Isn't GC Vega on GVC? Yeah, I mean, it's got its own volatility instrument, right? It certainly does have its own volatility instrument. It's just that I'm not aware of how to do it. I neutralize it at the portfolio level. So yes, are you getting big negative Vega from that? Yeah, let's see what we got. Let's see. Here we go. Dang it. So GC, we've got Vega of -295. So I'm not sure how you would, negate that with just gold. I do it with other instruments. Is that the right way? I don't know. Maybe that's something I need to check up on. And I will. I'll try to get a better answer on that. But I just think Vega is Vega. Vega is just Vega. Or that's how I treat it anyway. All right. So let's go back to AIM account here. Now, what's so cool about the AIM account is it doesn't have any buying power at all. Remember, Wonder Woman's our buying power. She's the one. This only has option buying power of $1,700. So even though this is a $35,000 account in comparison to the $51,000 account, this one is really kicking butt. And I've been trying to think and figure out why is this one, killing it when it's got similar trades. It's got similar options trades in it. We'll go to positions. We'll go to options. I mean, it's got calendars in it. It's got diagonals in it. It's got gold in it. It's got all kinds of broken wing butterflies. It's got a calendar in here somewhere. It's got a VIX hedge. It's got the beginnings of a Black Swan hedge. So it's got all the stuff that my other account has. So why is this one just rocking it? Why? Well, we're using all of our buying power pretty much, aren't we? I mean, we're putting on broken wing butterflies every day and we're taking them off, but it's using all of the buying power, and I'm still trying to keep it neutral. So the market is, pretty flat today. You got negative deltas here, a little bit of negative vega, and not as much theta as we've been having in the other account. But yeah, this one continues to outperform. The only thing I can think of is that we've got more capital allocated through, the individual underlyings, and then we're doing a great job of keeping everything pretty flat over here. And as I looked yesterday in this account, I go, man, that's just killing it. I mean, if you had an account, $35,000 account that was just comprised solely of the S&P 500, you just bought shares of the S&P 500, you would own 88 shares of the S&P 500. You'd have $263 just sitting in cash, and you would be up 6% on an account. And I'd go, man, that's good. Month and a half, you're up 6%. Fabulous. But then we look at a portfolio that's got it's got 12 different underlines in it and has all of the different kinds of trades that we're doing in the other account. And yet this thing is up 14.19%. When I saw this yesterday, when I actually put those percentages in there, it really smacked me in the face, right? I'm like, that is brilliant. And I don't know why, other than maybe it's because we're using all but $1,700 of our buying power. Whereas,
hey, Bobby,
yeah.
When did you start the putting the options on that account as well? I mean, if you go back to that chart, was there a time that you started putting the options on, and maybe that was the big moving the P&L up?
That's a good question. So let's take a minute and let's look at that. That's a very good question. So activity, let's see, working field, right? So we got field orders. And let's do it by symbol. So I started really doing the things in SPX, right, with the broken wing butterfly. So let's see, let's go back 60 days because this account's not 60 days. So this should tell us 524. So I put one on yesterday. So looks like I started putting them on April the 5th, April 12th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 28, 29, 30. Looks like around the 22nd or so, though, I started putting them on every day, didn't I? 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so I start rocking it then with the options. I mean, we started so the account actually started March the 29th. So what was this? That's a broken wing butterfly. So even on the 1st of April, 2 days in, we started with options, but we didn't do them every day. So now I've started pretty much doing them every day just to kind of keep the delta in check, because y'all, I hate to tell you, but this account would be up an ungodly amount if I didn't put the governor on it. And the governor is, I'm trying to keep the delta a little bit neutral, right? Trying to keep the vega at bay and trying to, get me some theta. If I'm just in ETFs, I have 0 theta. So there was a part of me that goes, I can't simply do a 100% ETF portfolio because Bobby Genius has to step in. But in a bullish market, this thing would probably be up $8,000 if I hadn't been doing these things. So, but I like what this one's doing, y'all. It's going up pretty much every day. It's up 339 now. It's, 323, it moves. It's a moving number. But dang, it's just been consistent. And you can see that from looking at this. But then we talk about trade envy. And is it possible that I could be envious of an account that I'm trading? It is. But then I go, y'all, this is a powerful number. 14.19% in such a small amount of time is really good. So let's talk about this. And yes, you have something else?
Oh, no, it just looked like by the chart there that you started breaking out the 1st of May, first part of May. That's when they begin to diverge largely. Yeah,
because they were pretty close, right? And another thing that I did in here somewhere, Rick, is rather in this area, I was recording the profit and loss every day. Right? I was doing it every day. So this is why it made a little different. So in here, I started going, I'm going to just do it like once a week, And I started updating once, but I don't know if that's why it looks like it's broke out, but certainly it has broke out. So let's see what happened around, what did start happening around May 1st? Did the options plays that I put on here start, closing for profits? Maybe so. Was there something that I did on May the 1st? Where was our orders? Activity orders around May 1st that did we start? What we started doing is around in here 21, 22, 28. So I went 6 days without putting one on, and then it's 5, 3, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 7, 5, 10, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We start basically putting one on every day.
So those
So-
butterflies seem to be making a difference there.
Yeah, those butterflies seem to really be making a difference. And I think they're making a difference in our other account too. I mean, I'm really liking the broken wing butterfly as an adjustment tool. So that this account, if I didn't have the broken wing butterflies, there's probably a good chance that these things would be up, a lot, because most of the stocks or ETFs that I have are positively correlated. They're positively correlated to the market, right? Only one's got negative correlation or negative delta compared to the SPY. Everything else is really positive. So another thing that I do like is this account's going to be getting a dividend. Look at this. Today's the 25th. It's going to get a dividend, and there's 29 shares of O in the account, and 29 of those shares are going to get dividends. This looks like it's going to get dividends at some point, so we've got dividend income coming in too. So y'all know I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks, and I've asked y'all about it. I've talked to y'all about it. I've done things because I don't want to make a rash decision. I don't want to go, okay, let's just jump and chase shiny stuff. But let's go back to the other account now, and I want to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So today we recorded our net lick, didn't we? And let's see how we're doing net lick wise in this account. So this account is at $51,300. It's down $260 on the year. It's up $167. So it's flat. Now this is including commissions, everything, y'all. It's down $260. So is that bad? No, it's not bad. It's just not good, because what's happened is, and I like the word that Ken used yesterday. Let's go look. It's a much different year than what I was seeing this time last year, right? This time last year, here we go. So I updated this yesterday. So here's our profit and loss on this account every time that we do it. So the good thing is we've profitable and we've come down to lose $500. Well, we went up and we were up $1,500. But then what happened? Then we come back down. Looks like an iceberg almost, doesn't it? Then we come up and then we come down. Then we were coming back out. Then we come here. Then we go nirvana, baby. We're making it. And we're going to go upward, upward, upward. But then look what happened. We went back down. And then we go back up. And then we go back down. Then we go back up. And so here we are. Well, actually, we're about right here today. We're flat. We are flat on this year. So when I looked at this yesterday, I go, even if we're flat, if I were to use a linear regression in this, it would look like this, wouldn't it? Our linear regression line would look downward. I didn't like that at all, but I go, wait a minute. The trades that we're doing, we're closing for profits. I don't understand. Are we over hedged maybe in such a bullish market? What would allow this account, who has very similar trades to the other account, what would make this happen? And it has to be that we've got those ETFs in the other one, even though we're governing them down. Right? Here's the equity curve that we're looking for. This is what we're looking for, even in that other account. That's what I'm looking for. And I see no reason if we continue doing what we're doing in this account. Now, what about on those days when the market's going down. We've had those. We've had some big days down, but this account still is not down a lot because I'm keeping the deltas rather neutral, but we're using a lot more buying power in this one. So with that said, now a lot of you have owned your own businesses. I've owned businesses before, and every business that I own has always been a flop, right? I've told you about that. So I bought a real estate magazine when everything was going digital. So what should I have done? Well, I should have gone digital, right? And I did. I did go digital very early on. We had that, but we thought that people would come to our website to find out property information. Well, why would you go to Bobby's site to find property information when you can go to realtor.com and find everything? And, I just couldn't compete with realtor.com. So we tried to be a niche market where we actually tried to say, okay, look, if we know how desirable the Bremen, Georgia high school is, so let's brand it and let's use Bremen Blue Devil logos, and we use Bowden Red Devil logos and Carrollton Central logos to identify properties. And that seemed to have worked. So I was making a pivot. In that particular business. And then I had my automobile accident where I was out for 6 months, right? So I'm on the sidelines. I can't walk. I'm trying to learn how to walk again. I'm learning how to step off of a 3-inch, sidewalk back onto the asphalt. And that was a big thing. So I basically gave up that business totally. But in that business, I was in the process of pivoting. So I think what Ken said yesterday was very telling to me. And what Ken said was, Bobby, I think what we're finding is the trades that may have worked last year in that particular market are just not working this year. And I mean, the good thing is they're not losing though, right? So maybe I've been down $1,500 or maybe $1,800 there, never over 2,000. But it's just churning. The word that Ken used yesterday was churning. We're just churning up, churning down, churning up, churning down. So I do think that I want to pivot a bit. Now, does that mean that we're giving up on the micros trades? And that's not what I'm giving up on the micros trades, but I want to allocate more capital in the entire account so that we're able to bring in some of those ETFs and to use the algorithm that I've developed, which is the anti-aim, to go ahead and make some of those decisions. Now, as soon as we do this, there's a good chance that the whole thing will go to hell in a handbasket tomorrow. Y'all know how it works, right? So this is not a chasing shiny thing. I've had to convince myself of this. This is a well thought out pivot. And businesses have to pivot. Let's look at different instances where businesses did not pivot. So there is no reason under the sun that Sears Roebuck should not be one of the greatest, most wonderful companies of the 21st century. Sears, and I said Roebuck, so that means I'm old. People's like, who's Roebuck? Matt's probably never heard of Roebuck, right? Roebuck, we kick him to the side. It was just Sears. So Sears, y'all, used to sell houses. There's house kits that are still up today and they're beautiful. I mean, they sell these Victorian house kits and people would buy them and put them up and they're still standing today. People would look forward to getting the Sears catalog because they would order stuff. And then after you ordered everything, you would take the Sears catalog. Rick, you know what I'm about to say. I'm about to see your face when I say it. You would take the catalog out to the old 2-seater outhouse and you would use the pages to wipe your butt after you went to the bathroom. Sears was the stuff. Sears was the Amazon of the 20th century. Man, you could get glasses at Sears. When I was doing real estate and I was in real estate, guess where I had my glamour shot made? I had my glamour shop made at Rear. You could have your taxes done at there. You could have your eyes checked. You could have your tires changed, your oil, all that. And then they had this wonderful business of their credit card business. And I mean, it was just, it was the place to order stuff from. You get that catalog, you order stuff for Christmas, it come in the mail. And then the internet came out, and Sears had the opportunity to be Amazon if they had continued and pivoted. They needed to pivot to go, hey, let's start focusing so much less on brick and mortar, and let's focus on pivoting so that we are the order house for people of the 21st century online. Now, I feel sorry for Sears because I see all the closed buildings, and I tell Beth every Christmas, Beth, go to Sears website and see if there's something that we can buy there that'll have even if we're paying a little more, because I want to see a brand of my childhood make it, right? And you go there, and all of their prices are at least 20% higher than something that I can order on Amazon. And I shake my head and go, it's just not cost competitive. You can't be that. So Sears was really a real estate business, right? They had real estate, they had, all kinds of stuff, and they didn't pivot. You got to pivot in business. So when we're in a market environment where we have successful trades, but we have churn, and then we're able to see something else that is clearly has the equity curve that we like, I think we need to pivot a little bit toward that. So pivoting is our essential thing today. Businesses have to pivot or they become stagnant or they die. And y'all, that's just not us, because we have said that there's never a time when we come into the market where we go, oh, we got it done. We know everything. I mean, we got the Black Swan hedge, we got the space trip trade, we got all this stuff. No, we never get there. All it is puts and calls. It's puts and calls in various different scenarios of buying them or selling them, or and a combination thereof. So we never get to that place where we're just content. So if we have an ability to pivot and to still keep our business model, the business model is still the same in both of these accounts. I still do the exact same thing in this account. The deal is keep your deltas, pretty a little bit short to a little bit, neutral. Keep your Vegas under route, right? We don't want that to be negative 300 Vega. We kind of keep it close, and then get you a little positive theta, and then let the account work. Let Homer Simpson go in to the bank and pull out a couple $100, and then we'll do it again the next day by keeping delta neutral, keeping Vega neutral, and giving theta. So as I look at this particular account today, what do I see? Well, I see that delta is a little negative, Vega is a little negative, and we got a little positive theta. So I would like to make a delta adjustment. So how do I do that when you've only got $1,700 worth of buying power? Well, you go in here and you trade. So what do we trade? We trade SPX. Look at that, y'all. I think we've got a few trades on here in SPX, do we not? Kind of amazing, actually. And look how well-centered everything is. It's, but with negative 74 delta, I'd kind of like to get that a little closer to zero. So what do? We hit trade, and we go long, put, calendar. Nope, we don't want a calendar. We want a butterfly. So a long put butterfly. We'll buy our butterfly. Let me go back to table. I never thought I'd like table better than curve, but I do. All right, so it gives us a little butterfly here. Uh-oh, let's go to the right expiration. Let's clear this. Clear, clear, clear. So where do we want it? Where are we going to put it? We've got them here. We got them here. We got them here. I don't have anything on the 20-day. I got them at 3 days. I got them all of them in here. I don't have anything on 20-day. Let's put one in there. So 20 days. Let's go long put butterfly. These things been working well. We're doing them in the other account as well. So we'll go cha-chink. We'll move that one down one. I say we'll move that to break it. So we just broke the butterfly. Where have we been putting these things? Well, at about 30% probability of being in the money. So let's move our strikes. Pivot, 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 pivot. $1.70. Wow. So I'll put that one at about 30 there, right? So 30. Is that right? We'll bring in it's a big old credit, isn't it? Wait a minute. Where is, okay, here's at the money. That's in the money. So that's good. That looks good. So selling that one, buying that one, buying that one. Wait a minute. That's the problem though, the strikes, right? So that's a 5 wide and that's a 20 wide. That's why the strike's so big. So I really don't want to do that. I would rather move my strikes this way. So I've only got, let's see. So that's a 30, that's a 5 wide, and that's a 10, 15 wide. So yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find my right strikes, y'all, and I can't find them. If I go down here, 90, 80, 75, 60 is 15. So that would take $830 in buying power. So we don't want that. Let me find it. That's a little too close, isn't it? Hold on. Strikes. That's 5, 15. No. I want all of you to move. I want you to move, and you to move, and you to move. So that's 5. So we go down to the 80. Now, let me pull that up. There. That's only 15 cents. Let's see. What am I doing wrong? Never had a problem finding these before. I want a 5 wide. That's 25%. My strikes aren't there. Let's clear all that. Let's go to another expiration. Let's find another expiration. So we've got them in. Maybe that's why I skipped the 20-day expiration. I don't like AM expirations. Let's go 24 days. See if this one's more cooperative. All right, long put butterfly. Long put butterfly. Buy, sell, buy. That's right. All right, now let's move this one down. See what we find. We've been putting the shorts at about a 30% probability of being in the money. 20, that's 5. Now that's 10 wide there. Look, for $1, about for $1 if we get filled there. So I hope everybody sees what I'm doing. I only want a 5 wide on this side and I want a 10 wide on this side. I think that's got it. $400 in buying power. That's it. Let's try to send that one for 90 cents and see if we get finished. So look at this. That's going to give us positive delta, right? SPX delta. So that should be what? 7 delta. So we're negative 70 there. Let's send this puppy. Hey, we're filled. So we were negative 70, right? So we did get our deltas better in line. We popped up our theta, and we really didn't touch our vega much at all. So vega's still a little negative, but not bad. So what we did is we were able to come in and to make that change in this particular account. Now, since I have made the decision to pivot, I got to think on the other one though. I'm just not ready. I'm like, do I need to close a bunch of account or a bunch of stuff? I mean, we're at break even and just redo it. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's what I need to do. I think I need to more or less start taking off some of the negative delta stuff since I'm way too negative in my deltas, and start taking off some of those things. Now, it very well may be that I have to put some of them back, but that's okay because I'm a pivoter. I can pivot. So when I look at everything that's giving me the negative deltas, What's giving me the most negative? Well, certainly it's my SPX. We're up on that today. What else? Negative 56, negative 58 here. So clearly we could close that long Q position. We could close this one. Wait a minute, did we not sell one against that? That's no wonder that was so small. We don't have a short Q position against that to make that long. No wonder. I thought we did that, y'all. Hold on. Let's go to our equities. I thought you and I sold. Maybe we didn't get filled on it. I thought we sold a Q because did we not? Wow. And we've got one open, right? Yeah, we've got the open. Well, maybe I just need to close that Q position rather than selling a long on that one. If we do it, we'll book a negative 1,400 on that, but the overall trade's only down negative 397. So that's something that I may do, but I don't know that I'm ready to do it now. I've just now been comfortable enough making the position to pivot. We're going to pivot to give me some buying power to get some shares of some ETFs so that I can ultimately make those types of decisions. And I don't know that I want to just go, I'm just going to close everything down. The account's flat and let's just start over, because we've got some good things. We've got the gold trade that's in that other account. We've got the calendar trades that are in the other account. Let's just look for a second, see if there's negative stuff that we could pull off that are profitable, that are giving us negative deltas right now, so we can free up buying power to do what we need to do. So we look at calendar 3. We know calendar 3, wow, calendar 3 down $970. Okay, that's giving us big negative deltas, but we've got a similar calendar in the other account. So let's see how the butterflies are doing. Butterfly. Looks like 20 is my youngest one. Butterfly 20 is giving me positive deltas. It's open. Looking to close negative delta stuff. That's not 21, 22. I'm just kind of going through it. So that's one that you can close for even, right? And get rid of 31 negative deltas. May chance that one. Let's just kind of look at them. 22, here's 23. It's down a little bit, so I'd rather close 22 than 23. But I'm not opposed, y'all, to closing an illusion trade to get us where we need to be. That one's down a little bit because the market's been up so big. That's what we're fighting with, so big. That's positive 25, 26 is negative deltas, down 35. That's another potential one we could take off. But these are things that I've got to think about. I've got a lot. I don't think I can do it in our little, which is probably good. Y'all seeing me going through the process of going, I've got to close some things down so that I can use part of our buying power to actually pivot towards what we're doing in the other account. So we're using 14,000. We know we're actually using more than that. The actual buying power that I have, we'll show it right here. Let's see, is positions, buying power effect. I have available $23,000 in this. So it's a $51,000 account, right? So we're using just a little under 50% of our buying power. And that's what I've got to free up just a little bit. We're going to keep on a lot of these positions, but I got to figure out how to get those an adequate amount of those equity trades in. And I hadn't quite, this is one of those things where I'll go to the bathroom and I'll sit on the potty and I'll go, Bobby, what are you going to do? So that's what I got to do that. All right. Questions. Pivoting is important. Chasing things is bad. Pivoting, not bad. What's the difference? Do y'all have questions or comments? Or, I mean, or are you thinking, Bobby, you're just crazy here? What's y'all's opinion? Give me a little feedback. because I do trust y'all's opinion. Ken, I can't believe you're quiet today.
So, Bobby, I mean, in trading, just like everything else, if you need to make a profit, you follow the money, you follow what's working. And what's working, just like Ken said, if it's not working this year, you change. And so, to pivot, I'm not too much for, and this is just me. I'm not too much at the place of buying ETFs or going into an AIM type of strategy, but that's just me. But if it works, it works, and you need to pivot. I'm not too good at pivoting. I'm an old stick in the mud guy. I stay the course, but that's just my mentality here.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. It's really not an easy thing to do. And I mean, you bring up a good point by that. It's just not easy to pivot. And sometimes, you could pivot prematurely into something that, is unproven. But it's still at the same time, I'm looking at this and I go, that is really a fantastic return in a bull market where we're trying to keep the deltas neutral to negative, and it's still going up. So I'm trying to figure out, why is it working? Why is this working?
So I think one thing your account is showing when your account, your TOS account is showing negative. I mean, I think for the most part, those are all in the diagonal hedges.
Yeah.
It's that paper loss that you have so far that is showing all the negative. And I don't know, maybe you're over leveraged as far as those things are concerned. I came to the conclusion I'm over leveraged as far as hedges are concerned to get me back to where I want to be. So I don't know, that may be one issue.
Yeah, I think you're right, because we have them in the diamonds. We got them in IWM. We got them in XXP. We've got it in the QQQs, right? I think you're exactly right. And it's giving me, too much negative. Probably the easiest thing to do right now would be, let's just dump out of that one. Let's just put our money where our mouth is. I think you're exactly right. Now we've got too much allocated to that. That's creating the paper loss of and the churn in the net lick. So let's just get out of that. I think we got filled on that. So that should have helped tremendously in getting out of, there we go. Yeah, so we sold that for 34.17. So now that did a great job, right? Took out 50 something negatives there. And that gives me a little more buying power, right? Because that was taking up $3,000 worth of buying power probably for that one. So gives me buying power to kind of pivot. But I think you're exactly right. Maybe a little too much on the diagonals that we've got there, because as we've all indicated, these are doing well. I mean, the micros are doing well. The broken wing butterflies are doing well. So maybe it is those particular trades that are, just making the account churn as we're trying to pay for those loans that we went out and bought, 6 months out. So really, really good point. But I'm still going to give it more and more thought. I'm doing this slowly and deliberately. I don't want to just go in and, make a sudden movement on anything, because I'm slow and calculate. I mean, the good thing is I'm in a really good position as far as, if the crash comes, we got positive theta, we got positive vega, we got, negative deltas, we're fine. I need even more positive deltas. So we'll work on that and get there. And I think this is one of the best places that we could be as far as a learning environment. I mean, I think the most fun of any trading room is to go in and say, man, we're just, we're on this little hill like this, and the net lick is just going up like we want it to. But I think the true learning, and this is why this is good, the true learning comes in those times when we are churning, when we're like, we're not losing, we're not making a profit, we're just kind of churning. And to see the pivot, to see the pivot and to see if it works. I think it's going to be very, very helpful for all of us. So it's a little bit painful though. I don't find comfort in a pivot. I do not find comfort at all. I feel comfort in doing, what I've learned has worked over the last few years. And then to start pivoting is uncomfortable. But that's where the learning takes place. I hope y'all understand that. That's where it takes place. One of the hardest things, what, Beth?
Low battery.
Oh,
Low battery.
low battery. Here's one thing that I do, and this is painful because y'all hear me get on here a lot of times and I play my Elton John and I play, a lot of songs, but I try to listen to what the kids are listening to today. I try to listen to what my kids are listening to. So we get in and I automatically go, man, I'm going to put it on classic country. And maybe 50% of the time I'll put the radio on classic country. But then the other half of the time I'm listening to new music. Now, why? Because I believe by listening to new music that it allows my brain to grow, right? So my brain is picking up those melodies, whether you like them or not, it's another thing, but I'm able to pick those up and I do enjoy some of the new music as well. And I've always said, don't ever just keep listening to the same thing over and over because those neurons, those pathways within our head, they're already built. When I hear an Oak Ridge Boys, I know the song. I can sing along. I know the tune. I know when the harmonica, when the steel guitar is coming up. I know that. But I force myself to listen to new music so that my little synapses and neurons and all my pathways in my brain are still forming new stuff. That's why I keep reading. That's why I keep learning. That's why I enroll in new colleges and take new courses because I'm constantly learning and making sure that we put new things in and new data. And so one of the worst things for us to do is to always listen to the same music. That's why I don't listen to Elton every day, most days, but not every day. I'm always looking for something new. And I think we ought to be that even in trading. So this is a great discussion. It's painful. It's painful when you go, hey, I know it all. I know what works. I know what got me over 200%. I know what did this, during this time. But it's good for us to be challenged. And that's what we're doing now. So I'm being challenged and I'll let you know how this goes. I may change my mind tomorrow and go, Bobby, you were chasing. But right now, I think this is a strong pivot. And that's the pivot that I plan to make. So join us for the pivot, even as painful as that sometimes can be. All right, does anybody have a trade or anything that y'all need to look at? We looked at the gold trade. I tried to talk about the Vega. In my world, I mean, even though they have their own volatility instruments, Vega is Vega. We'll try to get a better feel for that. That's why I offset it with the other Vegas there. So we know the gold trade is something we need to look at. Anything else that y'all got going on? Matt is, he's really intrigued with the Black Swan hedge. I'm going to stay over with Rick one-on-one for a few minutes. We're going to go over the Black Swan hedge with him. If any of y'all need any one-on-one for something, talk out more about the Black Swan hedge, then let's just set up a time to do it. Other than that, we are gone. And Rick will stay and everybody else, I'll see y'all tomorrow.